Monastery, and today we're going to be talking about the corkscrew. Now this is going to be a very short video going over just what you need to have, prerequisites to be able to do this skill. I'll come back with a longer video so you can troubleshoot things, okay, later on. So I really recommend looking at that extra video coming up, but here is the short and sweet version of this, okay? Let's get started. First thing you're going to need is a strong flash kick. Now, so long as you can land fairly upright and you have your foot going underneath you and the other foot coming back to the side, you're on the right track with this, all right? You don't have to be landing super upright like this. Some people won't even be able to do that. So just so long as you can land comfortably on your front leg and then switch back to your back foot, that's a good start, all right? So you want to have a strong flash kick. Now, obviously, a corkscrew is going to need you to have a slant gainer, cheat gainer, or swing gainer, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of different names for it, but ideally you want to be able to swing off of one leg, swing the other one through, so jump off of one, swing the other one through, and then toward the shoulder lightly. You don't have to go super sideways. In fact, you don't want to do that. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to get your flip into it, which makes it easier to land. So primarily you want to come up with it and then slowly toward the shoulder. All right, and the other thing is you want to make sure that you feel yourself getting a strong swing out of it. Strong swing and good timing with the arms. And all this is going to take a lot of time to get used to doing, okay? You're going to put in hundreds, maybe thousands of repetitions of this, so get ready to do that. All right, so we want to make sure we have a strong swing through with the leg, that we have a strong push off the other one, you're extending through, and the arms are in the same timing as the back leg. In fact, think of your arms as another leg, or think of your leg as another arm. Think of it like that. So this is what that looks like, and then we'll talk about approaches to do it. I'm going to do this from standing. All right, straight over the top like that. That's my favorite approach to doing it because it looks really powerful and it's really good for performance. Now, I did from a skip position here, and I just skipped forward to the front there, turned myself around. So you saw that from this wound up position, I am actually turning 180 degrees, facing the other way, and that allows me to travel forward so I can get this blocking mechanism as coming sideways and forward, puts me into that blocking position. And if you don't know what that is, I'll link some videos showing what blocking looks like. And then it allows for that 180 degrees motion to happen, which is going to also help me with twisting upon takeoff to add to the spin itself. All right, so that's a 180 degree thing. Now, you can do that with lots of other methods. That's my standing version. You can also do it with a three-step approach, or the J-step, so to speak. And that is, coming from the side here, you would take 3 steps. So if I jump off my left leg, I'm going to take 3 steps starting with my left leg. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And most people prefer this method. I do too, because it gives me a lot of swing and a lot of power. So there's 3 steps. If there was an imaginary line going straight toward the camera, from here I'd step off the line, coming back toward the line, and then directly on the line, coming back. And what does that do? It turns me into a 180 position, so I'm facing backwards from the place I started. Helps me out with that spin, the block, everything, right? That is going to look like this from here. 1, 2, 3, and over. And you notice I landed right back in the line of which I took off in. That's really good because that means that I'm not going to lose my awareness of where I am after takeoff, okay? Final one, you could do this from any kind of setup. You could do this from a scoot setup, TDR, Gumby, anything. Grandmaster scoot, whatever. I like to use the scoot for it just because that's the one I'm most familiar with. So any of those that help you with that one-hand touchdown and then putting the foot down is going to be useful for this. And once again, I'm going to end up doing a 180 turn. So if I did this from a scoot, I'm going to face backwards so you can see this. If I do this from a scoot position here, I'm coming around to the back. So I'm doing a 180 to allow myself to get the same wind up that I did for either the standing one or the 3-step one into it. Okay, so one more time. From here, I'm going to do the full skill this time so you can see what I mean. So from here, right? And you notice I kind of went off to the side that time because when I landed with my foot, I was leaning with my shoulders this way. And that might happen, and that's okay, but you want to try and get that more upright so that way you're not flying off to the side with your corkscrew, all right? So 3 different setups: standing setup, 3-step setup, and then also scoot or any other version you want. Okay, so another important piece of information I forgot to tell you about is that if you are stuck in the twist and you can't get your feet under you, or you're landing with your hands down over and over and over again, it's probably because when you come up, you are not pulling your chest up and over to initiate flip, right? You start with the chest, you lock everything else in place, and then it starts to go with you. If you just stand up, you will not rotate, or you'll rotate very slowly because you'll rotate a little bit. You'll rotate very little, you'll twist in place, and you're like, my twist is fine, how come I can't land it? You might have to sacrifice a little bit of that and focus more on the back pull of the shoulders in order to get you over, okay? And that's something that I've always had trouble with myself, especially when I took a hiatus from all this flipping due to an injury. So keep that in mind. As you come up, you really want to pull back on those shoulders and almost whip it. Whip it good. So you saw that whipping motion, lifting up, helps him get more extension, and it pulls you over way, way stronger than if you just stand up tall. So if you aren't flipping very well, you can tell that because you spin well but don't make it over. It's probably because you're not pulling back like that and initiating your flip. Okay, so the next thing that I tell you is probably the most important part of this entire tutorial. I only want you to twist a quarter turn on your first attempt. All right, and this is saying that you have the swing through, it looks really good, all right, and that you're landing on your feet, all that, okay? I only want you to attempt a quarter twist instead of a full twist. It's really easy to do the full twist, but most people don't flip enough first and get that part down before they twist, and then they end up twisting blindly, and then you finish your twist and you haven't even finished your flip yet, and then you start falling toward the ground. All right, so it's really important that we just do a quarter twist out of it. So as you come up and you have your leg coming up and it goes slightly to the side, when you feel the lift, this is going to take some thinking. Imagine that. When you feel the lift of the body coming up and you've hit that extension, you're going to initiate a quarter twist. Quarter twist meaning you're going to land like that. So your goal is to land with your feet mostly together, and you're driving. Imagine there's something inside your feet that's pulling your feet over, and you're going to land sideways 2 feet together as best you can. It's really weird, feels awkward, but this is going to give you way more awareness in your skill of twistability and this skill than anything else. So let's do a couple attempts to see what that looks like. Hey guys, I'm really sorry, but the video clip I had for this next part got deleted, so we're going into the camera inside the house right now. Basically, after you've done your quarter turn work a lot, you're going to start to do half twist turn a lot. So after you swing your leg up and through and you feel the lift of the skill, the shoulders are coming back, you feel the flip, you're going to try and end up facing the opposite direction out of your skill. This is going to feel kind of awkward because you're going to be landing a little blind, so if you have your head back like that as you come around. But again, the same thing applies, right? You swing your leg up, you feel the lift, you feel the drop back of the shoulders, so you're flipping over, and then when you normally would do a quarter, you try to force into a half twist. It's going to feel very, very similar to if you were to drive your heels up behind you and swing them up behind you like that. You're going to feel a sensation of the heels pulling you over. That's how you know you're entering into that front half feeling from there, or back half feeling from there. So just keep that in mind. That's what this next clip is showing. have to look for the ground. If you can't spot the ground, you're gonna have a lot harder time with this twist, with this skill. And that's because at first learning this, you wanna always know where the floor is. You don't wanna ever get lost during the skill. At least see it during some of the skill, all right? So now, as we're starting to incorporate the other half of the twist, we got the half twist facing backwards now. Now we're gonna try and get ourselves to do a full twist or a 3/4 twist. Now I usually recommend trying to just go for the full twist after you get the half. It's really hard to land that other part of that 3/4 and get that last quarter in there. So I really recommend just trying to snap it around. So if you have been working your Arabians, your Brannies, your back halves, your front halves, 180s, whatever you want to call them, this is where all that training is going to pay off. Those prerequisites are going to pay off because your body knows how to flip in different positions and twist in different positions. So I highly recommend that you have either a butterfly twist for this one, for combining the whole thing together, a cartwheel full to a full twist, a standing full, a round off back full, a full twist on trampoline. Any of those things are going to be useful to you. And then just also making sure that you can squeeze when you twist around. All right, if you can't squeeze your body, you're going to get stuck in flight, and then you're going to get stuck in this half twist mode, which is fine. I'd rather you be stuck in half twist mode than over twist and not make it around. So again, we want to come up. This is going to take some practice. You're going to come up. When you feel that lift, you're looking over the shoulder, you see there, okay? And then you pull hard around. And with enough of the practice of doing the half twist to facing backwards, this full twist will at first feel like it's the wrong thing, and then suddenly it'll snap around. It'll take a little time, but we're going to get to that. So let's watch some slow-mos of that real quick, and then finish up. Okay everybody, so last bit of advice before I close this video. I haven't done that cork in a really long time. I am extremely out of practice. And I'm not saying that for you to give me a break on the dang thing. I'm saying it because all the things that I learned developing this skill hold true, all right? I can come back to this skill after a long hiatus, do a couple of the drills that I've gotten used to for doing thousands of repetitions of it, and I can get the skill back. So that tells you something about the process here, okay? It doesn't look the prettiest, but the progress and the drills and the progressions and the strength and all the time I put into it still holds true. What I just did there a second ago is I thought about what is the thing that I can do best spinning wise while flipping. Well, right now that is actually doing a cart full, and I can do that pretty well because I understand the mechanics of it. So I used my experience with that, understanding that, this is called shelving, to help me do the next skill, the cork. Okay, I was having trouble with the spin, it wasn't working, I was falling down. So I said, okay, what can I do? What do I know about my other skills in twisting that help me do that, right? And I applied it to this, and it worked. So I thought about that Arabian front half that you do when you do a cart full, or starting now, thinking of it, treating it like a front twist versus a back twist. And that helped me to really, really, really dial that in, right? So that if you have worked on your Brannies, keep working on those because those are going to be almost more important for a full twist than a back half. Because you can cheat the first part of the twist. Anyway, enough talking. There's a bunch of stuff we have to unravel in all of what I just said there, and I'll try to talk about all that in other videos. Let's do one more. Okay, this hope we do this in one take, land it, and then call it a day. Ta-da! Cork in less than an hour. Probably not going to happen for you, but I'm so excited I landed that, so I don't have to shoot this over and over and over again. Let me know if you have any questions, comment below, subscribe. Let me know if you want more of these tutorials. I've been doing this for over 15, almost 20 years now, of different types of movements all along, breakdancing, capoeira, tumbling, different types of dance, tricking. Let me know what you want to see and I'll do my best to put it out there. Let me know if you have any questions about the cork, and you all have a great day. Be safe.